In 1973, the director of the Central Intelligence Agency ordered the destruction of every file related to one of the most disturbing programs in American government history. Thousands of documents burned, shredded, erased. He thought he had buried it forever. He was wrong. 4 years later, a government archivist found 20,000 pages misfiled in a storage room that were never destroyed. What those documents revealed about what the CIA had been doing to ordinary American citizens for over 20 years, without their knowledge, without their consent, shocked the entire world. This is the story of MKUltra. And it is entirely true. To understand MKUltra, you have to understand the world it was born into. It was 1950. The Korean War had just begun. American prisoners of war were returning home from North Korea, saying things that alarmed the United States government. Some appeared to have been psychologically altered. Some made statements that contradicted everything they previously believed. The CIA became convinced that the Soviet Union and Communist China had developed techniques for controlling human behavior. Mind control. Not science fiction. What the CIA believed was a real and documented threat. And the agency's response was to develop the same capability for itself. In April 1953, CIA Director Allen Dulles formally authorized a program called MKUltra. The stated goal? To develop techniques for mind control, behavioral modification, and interrogation that could be used against enemies of the United States. What it became was something far darker than its stated purpose. What they did. Chapter 1, LSD Experiments. MKUltra was not a single program. It was an umbrella operation covering at least 150 separate research projects, conducted at 80 institutions, including 44 universities, 12 hospitals, 3 prisons, and numerous private research facilities across the United States and Canada. Most of these institutions did not know they were participating in a CIA program. And the people experimented on almost never knew what was happening to them. The centerpiece of MKUltra was the use of LSD. The CIA became fascinated with LSD after learning about its powerful effects on human consciousness. Could it be used to make people talk against their will? Could it break down psychological resistance? Could it be used to program human behavior? To find out, they administered LSD to subjects without their knowledge or consent. Mental patients, prison inmates, drug addicts, government employees, and ordinary members of the public. One of the most documented cases involved a CIA employee named Frank Olson. In 1953, Olson was given LSD without his knowledge during a work retreat. He suffered a severe psychological breakdown. 9 days later, he fell from a window of a New York hotel and died. His death was ruled a suicide, though his family disputed this for decades. In 1994, his body was exhumed, and forensic examination found evidence of a blow to the head before the fall. The case has never been conclusively resolved. What they did. Chapter 2, Operation Midnight Climax. Among the most disturbing subprojects of MKUltra was a program called Operation Midnight Climax. CIA operatives set up safe houses in San Francisco and New York City. They hired prostitutes to lure unsuspecting men to these locations, then secretly gave them LSD without their knowledge. CIA agents observed the effects from behind one-way mirrors. The men who were drugged had no idea what had happened to them. No consent was ever obtained. No follow-up care was provided. This was not a rogue operation. It was authorized and funded by the CIA itself. What they did. Chapter 3, Canadian Experiments. Some of the most extreme MKUltra experiments were conducted in Canada. At McGill University in Montreal by psychiatrist Ewen Cameron. Cameron received CIA funding through a front organization. He subjected patients to psychic driving, prolonged drug-induced sleep lasting weeks or months, massive electroconvulsive therapy far beyond normal doses, sensory deprivation, and repeated audio messages played thousands of times to reprogram behavior. His patients were not told they were part of an experiment. Many arrived seeking treatment for minor conditions like depression, anxiety, or marital problems. They left with permanent psychological damage. Some lost years of memory, some lost the ability to care for themselves. The Canadian government later paid compensation to surviving victims. And the U.S. government settled lawsuits from Canadian victims in 1988. What they did, Chapter 4. LSD was not the only tool. MKUltra researchers also experimented with hypnosis, sensory deprivation, psychological torture, biological agents, and even radiation. The scope, on unwitting American and Canadian citizens, by their own government, has never been fully documented. Many files were destroyed. By the early 1970s, the political climate had turned against government overreach. Watergate. The Church Committee. Freedom of Information requests. CIA Director Richard Helms knew what was coming. In January 1973, he ordered the destruction of all MKUltra files. Critics argued he was protecting the CIA itself. But not all files were destroyed. In 1977, 20,000 documents were discovered, revealing the true scope of MKUltra. Confirmed under oath before the U.S. Senate. MKUltra demonstrates how any government agency, operating without oversight, without transparency, without accountability, is capable of conducting programs the public would never sanction. The question is not whether programs like MKUltra existed. We know they did. The question is, what programs exist today? That we will only learn about 20 years from now, when someone finds the files that were not destroyed. Did you know MKUltra was a real CIA program before watching this video? Drop yes or no in the comments. I read and reply to every single one. Every claim in this video is backed by declassified government documents and congressional testimony. Links to all primary sources are in the description. This is Government Files USA. We open the files they never wanted you to read. Subscribe, new files every day. Next week, the IRS algorithm that decides who gets audited, and the triggers that put you on their list. Stay informed. They are counting on you not knowing.